Hey guys, AQW Blaze 91, Anthony Hable here for another birthday unboxing video because it's the 24th of August and today is my birthday again. And I am now 35 years old. Yep, I'm starting to feel much more older now than I was before. As I would expect from a time when a year goes by so quickly. Anyway, I'll give you guys a little quick update. Engineers have come like the past month or so and have done some maintenance work to my door. So I finally got a door to shut. And so I moved my racing wheel box into my cupboard door right there. So I'm very happy that I got my door sorted out, and they've done some pipe work and some other kinds of engineering work around my new house, so everything is looking better than what it was before. But now let's turn our attention to the bed here, because we got some unboxing gifts to show off. So I asked for 3 things. First of all, a points card for my PlayStation, because number one, I heard that Quake 2, a classic FPS game, got remastered, and I really wanted that, and so I got it. And alongside that, I needed to get the Crisis 3 DLC for the PS3, because I'm going to be boosting on that before the servers go down. The online servers for the multiplayer. So I figured I'd get this as soon as possible, so I can get the DLC, and I'll probably think about having a look at whatever DLC for PS3 games I'm gonna get before their servers get shut down. Because we're now in a phase where, like, all PlayStation 3 games, all PlayStation 3 multiplayer games are going to be, devs are going to be thinking about shutting the online servers for those games down, so that they can have, the stability to keep up with any new games they work on. So yeah, time to get started. So get boosting on those PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 games as much as possible now. And I started making a list for PlayStation 3 games that have this server still currently going, that I'll need to start buying DLC for if I'm gonna work on platinum trophying those games, because I've got a fair amount of games to start doing platinum trophy work on. But either way, aside from that, I also got one game and one new controller. And here's the new controller. It's basically one I've already done an unboxing video for. It's the Asus Powers AS-G1 controller. Yeah, nothing to say here, nothing new to elaborate on. I've just figured I'd get a spare controller because my old one has apparently broke. Like, I'll show you here. Oh, where is it? Alright, in this bin here, here's the old one I had before. The R2 has apparently come loose on it, on this old one here. So yeah, this old one here has come loose, in which it's become like a pain to get it to come out. So I think the spring inside of it has come loose or is broken apart. At least is what I think. It's like the spring inside of it, or the elastic that holds the R2 button in place, has come loose or something inside it. I would risk taking it apart to have a look inside to see what the cause of it, but it's just yeah, and I just think it's just better to get a new one. And my other PS4 controller that's busted is, yeah, the Chrome Kaiser is also busted as well. The analog sticks on it just started drifting. It's got controller drift, so yeah, the other one's gonna have to be replaced. But either way, I got one of two new ones that I am replacing. I'll think about getting another new controller as well to replace also the other one that's busted. But here we go. This is, yeah, you know what, and yeah, this is the same one as I did before. This is AGS the Ace Pass one. Yeah, once you unbox it, yeah, two of these inside it, and all you get is just the controller itself. With these on top. And nothing else. Nothing else of value, and no, but there is an instruction booklet and a cable. And I already know how to set the thing up, but I can always do with a spare cable. So good on me. So I got a spare cable and a new controller to operate. So the Ace of Powers, it was what is it? It was a controller I did fairly reasonably enjoy using. It was like an Xbox One type controller. It's almost close to an Xbox One controller. Like, it's very similar in design to an Xbox One controller. Like, it has a very shining resemblance to an Xbox One. So, anybody that played on an actual Xbox One would know how it feels. And it was pretty good for a vast majority of games you would want to play on it. Aside from fighting games, like, it wasn't very good for fighting games. Yeah, but hey, it was still a fairly decent controller. And and one of the things I did buy it for was a turbo controller, where you can let it auto fire for you. Which was extremely handy. So, and yeah, and the buttons, all the buttons, triggers, and so on did feel quite nice. And I figured I'll just show the box art of it. Yeah. The front of it, plus the logo. The side of it, and there's the back, showing what it's compatible for and what it can be used for. Yep, your regular PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, PlayStation 4 Slim, and so forth. Yep, and it featured custom shortcuts, double vibration, and 6-axis gyroscope, and of course the turbo fire, which is what I bought this thing for. So yeah, so good on me. A spare controller is what I needed. And again, the thumb grips, yeah, not the most comfortable ones out there. Like, it's not entirely too comfortable, not very comfortable, but oh well, it's serviceable at the very least. Now then, the last present to talk about, and this is one I've had on in my eyes for quite a while now. I've had a choice between two RPGs, and I was going to think about getting one of them, but then I went for the other one instead. And that other one is Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion. This is a remaster of the PSP role-playing game which I have. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. So I went with this one because how am I gonna explain this? Square Enix has been in the dumpster. Has been creating a massive dumpster fire in the Final Fantasy VII universe. Final Fantasy VII Remake wasn't really a Final Fantasy VII, wasn't really a remake I had hopes for. And when I played through Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PS4, I wasn't impressed. Like, I wasn't really all that impressed. Like, the story of 7 Remake wasn't great, wasn't excellent, it wasn't good. I did not like the new storyline they're going for. And the combat system, very mixed bag combat system. I see that we're trying to go for action RPG on top of the ATB system, and yeah, I just didn't think it was that good. Like, it hadn't virtually no impact to it. Like, it fell flat. And yeah, I've done a full playthrough of Final Fantasy VII Remake on my YouTube channel. If you're inclined to check that out. Yeah, I didn't think it was that great. I didn't think it was that good, really. And yeah, I've seen the new trailers for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I have very worrying feelings about that one. Of like how they're gonna like where they're taking the story. And it's because how much of a mess and nonsensical the new storyline was in Final Fantasy VII Remake. I just have very little thoughts for the new storyline for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But here is the only bit of expanded storyline lore that they kind of got right. That was kind of good. And that was Crisis Core. Back then on the PSP, the storyline in Crisis Core was at least faithful to Final Fantasy VII because it took place before the events of the original Final Fantasy VII game, where you're playing as Zack Fair. And you get to go through his story and backstory into the events that led to, what was it? Cloud taking up the Blaster Sword. And I played it on the PSP, and the story was fine. Even though it did leave you to questioning some of the characters' motives. But then it all starts to make sense with Shinra and their experiments, and them going after Aerith, and also and eventually Cloud taking up the fight against Shinra. While he possesses some of the memories from Zack. And also why Sephiroth was involved in all of this. Yeah, it was all explained in the backstory of Crisis Core. But of course there were things I did not like about Crisis Core myself, like some of the repetitive side missions, and the combat system, not amazing. Not amazing by any means, but certainly not awful either. Just some things that I just don't think it made it, you know, stand out from like the Kingdom Hearts or the Tales of games. Like, there were things I did not like about Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, the original, the PSP original. Was like how it had this weird system, slot machine system, where 3 numbers, you know, slide around with icons and such. And depending on if you get 3 of the same icons, something happens. You, like Zack will do in that special, some kind of limit break attack. And if you get a certain number, you either get either your materia levels up or your character levels up, and other kind of parameters or whatever things happen. And yeah, it's just too random, and I didn't enjoy that system. I didn't think it was a good system. It was an odd system, and I just didn't think it translated that well. Very RNG reliant if you think about leveling up and such. And yeah, those were the things that did kind of let Crisis Core down. But compared to all the other things that that came out when Square Enix tried to expand upon the Final Fantasy VII universe, this is the best one. Especially considering that they made Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII. I also played that game on my YouTube channel as well. Hope you enjoyed some of my commentary on that one. I never finished the extras content on that one, because some of it was just getting too hard, and I only had a certain amount of time left before I had to get rid of give my PS2 to my brother to make room for the PlayStation 4 when I got it. Sadly, so I won't be going back to Dirge of Cerberus anytime soon, and to be honest, I've already finished the main story anyway, so it does count as a, you know what, completion anyway. The extras, you can just say it's just the extra missions is just a bunch of minor stuff anyway. It's not really big or anything. I'm sure if I leveled up some other parts of my gear, and also gotten some extra items and such, I probably would have gone through the extras without that much problems. But yeah, Dirge of Cerberus is over. And then there was that awful Final Fantasy VII, what was the other Final Fantasy VII? Advent Children, yes. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, the film, which really wasn't a good film. But the final battle between Cloud and Sephiroth, yeah, that was the highlight of that film. That was at least the highlight of the film, but everything else about it was just not very good. It had a very nonsensical storyline that just did not make sense. It was just very flat. But hey, at least the quality of the film was good. So, of all things Final Fantasy VII related, this is like the best one. So, it's good that I got in the reunion now, because that means I'll be able to do a YouTube full playthrough of the game. So I'll eventually just give this a go a bit before I'll eventually start a whole new playthrough, which will be the full thing. I'll play through it and all the missions, and then I'll eventually work on doing all the trophy stuff. I may put off some segments to do some grinding, because Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core does require a fair bit of grinding, especially when it comes to materia setup. So, oh well, I'll look forward to that. So anyway, enough rambling, let's get this thing unboxed. And I'm gonna, good luck with me doing this with one hand, because it's in one of these wrappings. There it is. And this is the PlayStation 4 version of the game. I know there's a PS5 version, but I haven't got the PS5 yet. I may consider getting a PS5, but I'll hold my fire on that until I know the price on it and see if it's worth getting it for Christmas. So here it is. Here's the Reunion. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion. The remaster. Ah, it does a PS5 upgrade available. That's a good sign. That's a good sign anyway. There's the disc. There's yeah, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion membership. Yeah, whatever. And that's just about everything else. And here's the disc. Yep. Just a simple PlayStation 4 box with nothing else in it, just a disc. And here's the back. Yep, just your standard box showcasing the game and the description of it. Yep, all looks nice. So, like I said, I'll give this a go. I'll eventually do a full run of this, and then eventually do my review on it on my GameSpot channel. So, yeah, so at least I'll have something positive in a Final Fantasy VII universe to play somewhat before eventually playing Rebirth, and eventually seeing how Square Enix is going to completely fuck up the Final Fantasy VII timeline. Because Final Fantasy VII Remake, they kind of did try almost fuck up the Final Fantasy VII timeline, kind of, with these whole ghost-like dementor things. It was called the Arbiters of Fate, was it? Was it the Arbiters of Fate, or was it the Arbiters of Light, Arbiters of Fate, whatever the fuck they're called? You see, that's how fucked up the new storyline is for Final Fantasy VII Remake. When it chooses to follow the events of Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII Remake is the storyline would be fine if it just followed the proper parts of Final Fantasy VII lore. But yeah, but once you start throwing in ghosts like Dementors, and some of the characters surviving or whatever, yeah, it just becomes a very big, huge, nonsensical mess. Just like Advent Children was. A complete nonsensical mess. A storytelling that just made no fucking sense. That's all that needs to be said about my thoughts for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm just not looking forward to how they're going to possibly ruin the story next. So, either way, that's all I'm going to show for this unboxing birthday video. So, I got a new controller, a new game, and I got a points card, which I already used to buy some new a new game or two, and also some DLC for PS3 games, because I'm going to be looking forward to whatever new stuff Night Dive Studios is going to possibly bring up. Because I've heard, Star Wars Dark Forces 1 is going to come to next gen consoles, and I've also heard Terra 3 Shadow of Oblivion, which was a Nintendo 64 exclusive, is going to finally be on modern consoles as well. So yeah, Night Dive Studios has been on a big spree. First the Turok games, then the old Turok 1 and 2, then Quake, Doom 64, Hexen, no, not Hexen, Exhumed, that's it. Exhumed, Power Slave, whatever you call it, and such. Those guys are just on a roll here, and I know they're focusing on huge FPSs. Especially also they did the remaster, the reworking of System Shock as well. So I'm really looking forward to whatever the new stuff that Night Dive Studios is working on. I hope to God soon Wolfenstein 3D gets some kind of modern treatment as well, because Wolfenstein 3D is another important game, and I know there's Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus that has Wolfenstein 3D on there. You can play that, but that's just an alternate history version. I want to play a version of Wolfenstein 3D that's unaltered and kept to its faithful look. So I hope Machine Games and Night Dive Studios get to work on doing one for Wolfenstein 3D as well, because that one's an important game to do one for. And after the Quake games and seeing Quake 1 and 2 now remastered, I hope they do Quake 3, and I hope they do Quake 4 as well. So those are my hopes. But I know they got a big list of other games Night Dive is working on right now. So I'll end it here. So I hope you guys enjoyed my unboxing. Hope you enjoyed my little talking about my new prezzies. I'm gonna eventually play this and get my first trophy on it before I eventually decide, after I work on some Paladin videos and Tales of Symphonia videos that I need to get started on, as well as some other reviews and other stuff that I do have to think about getting my stuff on. So either way, I'm going to leave it here for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and look forward to whatever new videos I got coming up, including some Paladin videos that I'm going to be uploading very soon. So take care of yourselves, and goodbye.